An investigation underway tonight to find out what happened in the moments before a Columbus police officer shot and killed a 13-year-old boy. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Mike Jackson.
And I'm Ellie Merritt. That teenager was apparently carrying a BB gun that looked like a real gun. Tonight we have team coverage for you of this story now making national headlines. Our Beth Del Ponte spoke with some family of 13-year-old Tyree King.
But first, Ted Hart, he is live where the shooting occurred less than 24 hours ago with what we're learning more about the incident. Ted?
Well, Mike, this started with a report of an armed robbery a couple of blocks away from where we are now. But eventually, suspects and police on a foot chase came crashing through this fence in the backyard of a home on Hoffman Street, down this alley where shots were fired. And witnesses were on 911 throughout it all.
They were here in this car about to drive off in this black car in the alley. They jumping over the fence.
Witnesses said a group of suspects had split up and police were chasing some of them on foot.
He's shooting them. Oh my God! Oh my God, they shooting!
Police say one of the suspects pulled a gun from his waistband.
We found a gun at the scene near the suspect that we were trying to apprehend, and this is what that gun looked like.
It was a BB gun that looks a lot like the gun that Columbus police carry. The suspect shot and killed was 13-year-old Tyree King.
And a 13-year-old is dead in the city of Columbus because of our obsession with guns and violence.
The fact that it's a police-involved shooting of a young black male makes this story of national interest, and many are urging patience, including an organizer here with the People's Justice Project.
Let's not rush to judgment and frame a narrative based on what's been given to us. Let's find out what those kids were doing, and execution is not the answer to a robbery.
And you can see there's a crew from the Columbus Fire Department here applying some liquid, kind of hosing down an area of the scene where this all took place last night. Now, the officer involved in this, Brian Mason, is a 9-year veteran of the police force. He's been placed on administrative leave. That's standard practice. The investigation will eventually be turned over to the county prosecutor for presentation to a grand jury to see if they determine whether criminal charges should be placed. Live for now on the east side, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Ted, thanks so much. Tonight, we're also learning more about the 13-year-old who was shot and killed. Tyree King was an 8th grader at Lyndon McKinley STEM Academy.
And tonight there is a vigil for friends, family, and strangers to pay their respects. Our Beth Del Ponte is live on the South Oval on OSU's campus to continue our team coverage tonight. Beth, an emotional day, and it will be an emotional night.
Most definitely, and for the days to come, Ellie, right now we are starting to see some people gather here on the South Oval here on the Ohio State University's campus. The OSU Coalition for Black Liberation is holding this vigil from right about now until 8 o'clock tonight. They set up a Facebook page. They say they want a place for the community to mourn and gather. In the meantime, earlier today, I spoke with several of Tyree's family members to learn more about what kind of kid he was. This is 13-year-old Tyre King. He was an 8th grader who attended Lyndon McKinley STEM Academy. His sister says he could always make people laugh. She said he loved to play sports and was creative. This morning, Reverend Frederick Lamar from the Family Missionary Baptist Church counseled and prayed with Tyree's grandmother and other relatives.
They took me to the grandma, and I just said, look, who I was, can I just hug you? And I held her for about, 5 minutes, just let her sob, cry, And that's what people need. People just need to know somebody cares. She started calling everybody in the house. There was people all outside and everything. She called them all in the house. So respectful. Calling everybody in the house, grieving. We had prayer. Broken. They're broken. They're hurt. They're just going through the grieving process.
According to a statement released by the King family's attorneys, the family says none of this makes sense to them. The statement said, they are shocked and indicate the actions described by the police are out of his normal character. Also in the statement, one of the attorneys says, the grief is worsened further by the fact that this death came at the hands of a man who was sworn to protect the citizens of Columbus. One of the attorneys also stated that, quote, numerous witness accounts are in direct conflict with the officer's version of the events, end of quote. More on that coming up at 6, as well as the vigil here taking place on the South Oval. And then later tonight, the family has planned a vigil. More on that straight ahead in a live report at 6 o'clock. For now, though, live on OSU's campus, Beth Del Pani, NBC4.
Beth, thanks so much. We're also getting our first look tonight at the officer who fired the deadly shot at Tyree King. As Ted Hart identified him as Brian Mason, a 9-year veteran of the force who police say just started working in that East Side neighborhood. Officer Mason was involved in another police shooting back in December of 2012. He shot and killed a man who was holding another man at gunpoint in a home on Beulah Road. Officers say the man in that case, John Kaufman, had refused orders to drop his weapon.
So